Hey, what's up? I thought that this video we could read all of my DNF'd books. Not too many, but I mean, we have a little bit of a stack, like a little stack. Here's the thing with my DNFs. All of my books that I've ever DNF'd, they're not hard DNFs because I'm never coming back to them. It's always something that I'm gonna come back to because if I buy a book, I'm gonna read it. Like, no matter what. I don't care how much I hate it. Like, I paid money for this. I will read it no matter what. I don't care if I hate it, I'm gonna read it. Anyway, it's kind of like a soft DNF, but not officially because I technically never stopped reading it. But I have, for my first book, Remarkably Bright Creatures, which I actually stopped reading like 3 weeks ago, and I didn't actually pick up anything, so technically I'm still in the middle of this, but based on how it's going, like, I could have seen myself like moving on from this. Listen, I like fiction, I really do. I don't mind when the story is all about the characters, nothing happens with the plots. The thing is that this is how this is going so far, and I am not really connected to any of the characters so far, so I'm kind of just like putting up with these characters and waiting for something interesting to happen. And we're following like 2 characters at the moment, and I feel like their stories are gonna cross paths super soon, like within the next like 5 pages or something. But frankly, I really don't care. So we have this one as our first one. I'm gonna show you the rest just so you know what is coming up. I don't know what order we're gonna pick these up in, but I'm just gonna show you. Red, White, and Royal Blue, I DNF'd way back in like 2022 or 2021. Probably 2022, honestly. Yeah, that's where I am. The Cat Who Saved Books, Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and Kiki's Delivery Service. Those are the 5 books that we are going to be reading in this video, and these aren't all of my DNF books. I actually have 2 horror books that I DNF'd. One that I actually did semi-recently in like September or August, but I'm not going to include those because I've been reading like in September and October. I got a lot of like horror, spooky kind of books. Not all of them being spooky kind of books, but like I think for right now I want to take a break from like horror, so we're gonna pause on that. That's always something we'll go back to because no matter what, I'm gonna read those books. But those are 2, if you're wondering what they are. They're American Psycho and The Shining. The Shining, I only got to like page 10, so I mean, I don't know, but I got quite into American Psycho and then I DNF'd it. But if you're wondering what I'm doing for this, you're like, am I gonna restart it, or like what am I doing? Am I picking up where I left off? Most likely for all of these except this one, I'm going to be going back a few pages and reading it. But maybe for like The Coffee Gets Cold, honestly, yeah, a few pages. Like I remember like some of it, just not everything. Kiki's Delivery Service, I mean, it's like a children's book, honestly. I'll go back, however, I think I remember like a substantial amount. I DNF'd this last year, 2022, 23-ish, last year. So everything was within the year, last year. But yeah, I'm just gonna be going back a few pages because honestly, I don't want to reread everything. So yeah, that's what we're doing in this video. It'll be really interesting. I wonder if my opinion is going to be changing on any of these and if I end up liking them. Honestly, the majority of the time, especially last year, for DNFing my books was because I was in a reading slump, and I was in a reading slump for a hot minute last year. So that's mainly the reason. Like, I DNF'd Lessons in Chemistry in 2023 and I picked it back up last year, I think, and that became a 5-star. So do not count on these all being like low rated books because that's just not always the case. Like, maybe I just wasn't in the mood for them at the time, but like opinions change and circumstances change. Like, last year was not a good year at all for me, and that's around the time that I had the reading slump. So yeah, that's what's going on. Anyway, I'll be seeing you real soon. I haven't read in 2 weeks. Honestly, I might read right now. I think I will. But yeah, and also something that I wanted to like sprinkle in here is that if I'm not feeling a book, and this is something that I just started to do this year, is that I will put on the audiobook and read at the same time. I was never an audiobook listener, but actually I think it might have been my first read this year, which was Dash and Lily, which is like up there. I started reading because I love the show, and then I wasn't really feeling it, so I decided to like pop on the audiobook, and that really helped me out in like reading it or listening to it. I don't know, it just made things, I kind of forced myself to listen to it because honestly, if I would have kept reading it, I would have DNF'd it. So that's something that I uncovered this year for books that I'm just like not feeling, and I feel like that might be some of the moves for this video. Okay, that's it. I'll see you soon, and yeah, I don't know, I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, it took me a while, but I'm on page 144. So I haven't even reached halfway of this book, and I really like fiction, like as a genre, and you know, I'm good with books that don't really have a plot per se and that mostly follow characters, and that's kind of what is happening here because I'm 144 pages in and I've gotten like no concrete semblance of a plot that is supposed to be happening. We're just following characters. I think right now we're following like 2 solid characters, maybe 3, I don't remember honestly, but I know 2 characters for sure that we're following, and I feel like their stories are going to collide very soon, but I don't know what we're working towards, and honestly I don't feel like a connection to any of these characters that keeps me. I haven't read in like 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks actually, and when I thought about reading I just didn't pick it up, mostly because I just wasn't that interested in the story. So that's what's going on right now, but I'm gonna read. I'll let you know what happens. Okay, bye. Hey, what's up? I picked up Remarkably Bright Creatures yesterday for the first time, and I actually read / listened to 126 pages. I listened to it while I was working because I really did not want to have November to be a month where I didn't finish a book, because I did that in May and that was not nice. So I actually listened to a big majority, 126 pages, but this is how much we have left. I might read and listen to more later, most likely, because I want to finish this book. I had a theory about where the story was going, and when I listened a little bit more, that was confirmed to be true. Right now they have a kind of hypothesis of what could have happened. I'm trying to be vague, but I don't think that's the case. Like, I think that's so far, it's not so far out of reach, but I don't feel like that's the tone for this book right now. So I don't think that is true. And I can picture the end. I can picture how this is gonna end, and it's a nice ending, but I can't say that it's anything that would make me rate this anything higher than what it is right now. I have this right now, like as I'm reading, in like a 3-star range. I kind of tend to rate my book as I read, but that's where this is right now. I genuinely thought this was gonna be like a higher rated book. As I was reading, I thought it was gonna be like a little bit more captivating, I think, and that's just like not happening. I don't know, I just thought a lot of this book going into it. I heard good things, and I don't know, me and this book are just not 100% compatible. So yeah, that's how that's going. Anyway, I'll try to read more later and I'll let you know anything, but most likely I know how this is gonna go. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. Hey, what's up? I literally just finished Remarkably Bright Creatures like 3 to 5 minutes ago, and it's the last day of November, and I really wanted to finish a book in November because I haven't so far, so I just finished this just in time. It is, oh, literally just in time, 11:54 on November 30th. This went exactly how I predicted, and nothing surprising, even though it was predictable and I saw this coming, I want to say 100 pages ago. It was still satisfying, and I didn't mind the conclusion. I still can't say I had a deep connection to any of these characters. Marcellus, honestly, he was fun to read, like his point of view, but honestly, like, just give me a book on Marcellus and I'll read it, because he's a really funny guy. Funny octopus. Other than that, I really don't have anything to say. It was just like a normal read, and I don't know, nothing really happened in this book. I really don't have anything to say. So I gave this a 3.2 out of 5 stars. I really did think about like giving it like a 3-star, but I don't know. I was kind of, I was satisfied with how it ended, and I'm not gonna fully just give it like a 3 stars. Like, I'll I'll give it a 3.2. And yeah, there's a show coming out, I think. I'm hoping they make a few changes. I don't know, something to like make it more, I don't want to say juicy, but like enthralling, I guess. Anyway, so I finished up like in November. Great. Other than that, I don't know what I'm gonna read next. Actually, I thought I was gonna be reading more this week. I brought all of the TBR books with me. I'm not gonna pick up a new one today. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. But yeah, that's how Remarkably Bright Creatures went. I also felt like I thought a lot of this book going into it. Like, I've been seeing it pop up everywhere, and originally when I saw it, I hadn't heard anything about it. Just the cover really spoke to me. I don't know. I just was I judged a book by its cover and I was like, you know what? I want to read that. So I finally did. And yeah, sometimes things don't always go the way you want them to. And I'm not saying this is a bad book, but I just was expecting like a little bit more. Okay, anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna read next. That's exciting, but I'll let you know tomorrow. Okay, bye. Hey, what's up? It's been a day. It's December 1st. Happy December. We're gonna pick our next read, and I think it's gonna be Kiki's Delivery Service. I think this is what we're gonna do. I'm on page 102 of 193, so I have like 91 pages left. I remember the gist of where I was, I want to say. I think I stopped reading just because I wanted to read something else. But yeah, I wasn't like disliking the book or anything. I'm gonna read this and then we'll have these three left. I don't know which one I'm gonna do next, so your guess is as good as mine. Okay, I'll see you later. It's snowing. It's snowing, it's snowing. It's the first official snow day, I want to say. Guys, this is totally irrelevant to the conversation of DNF'd books. But if you were wondering, it's December 16th and I have not read anything in this time, which is awful. I've been doing, I made a scrapbook for my dad for Father's Day, I think last year or maybe the year before. And I always said I was going to update it, but I never did, so I stole it back and I'm going to update it for Christmas, so that's what I've been doing. I haven't been doing anything in terms of reading, but I was thinking like might as well like listen to an audiobook. So what I have here are Before the Coffee Gets Cold and Red, White, and Royal Blue. I was on page 184, it seems like, of Red, White, and Royal Blue. And if I wanted to do Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I think I would have to restart this. But I was thinking while I do my scrapbook and everything, since I'm done doing it, might as well listen to a book in the meantime. Question is which one? I'm trying to decide right now. Honestly, I think I might go with Red, White, and Royal Blue. It's been years since I touched this book. I think the last time I picked it up was in 2022. It's been like 3 years. Awkward, but I think we're gonna do this while I do the scrapbook. Looks like I was almost done with chapter 7. I remember, so this is a romance, if you didn't know. It's one of the most, it was like one of the most popular books at the time. So no, you probably don't know this about me. I lose interest when they get together too fast. And I feel like I can say that because it's a romance and you know they're gonna get together. So I feel like that's what happened too early on. And that's why I stopped reading, because when they get together too early on, I get bored. And I don't know, I lose interest. So I'm gonna listen to that right now. I'm gonna start on chapter 7. And we're gonna see how it goes. Well, I'm gonna finish the book, don't worry. And actually, I want to finish this by the end of the year. I want to finish all my DNF books because I want to get to my reading goal. So that's the plan. Starting this one again. In the beginning, I DNF'd it somewhere and I don't have my book with me, so we're starting without it. Hi, what's up? I wanted to fill you in as to where I was on my DNF'd books situation. It's Christmas Eve, actually, and I think 2 days ago I finished Red, White, and Royal Blue. I picked up where I left off, and I feel like if I would have restarted this, I would have DNF'd it. For me, you know, this is a romance. They got together way too early, so I really lost interest so fast. And it's like a very cute, very fluffy book, I feel like. I don't know, I don't know if it was because I picked up like, I'm gonna say like 48% through, but I like the characters. I don't think I connected with any of the characters. I don't think I really cared deeply for anyone in here. Again, that could be because I didn't start the book off from the beginning again, but those are just my thoughts. Again, I started halfway through. I'm gonna keep mentioning that because I jumped right into like where the politics left off, and I completely forgot what we were doing. Then I picked up that, you know, the first son's mother was running for a second term of the United States, kind of diving into that. I wasn't very interested in that area of the story, but yeah. I mean, I feel like if you ask me, I'll tell you it's a 3-star, but like deep down to me, this is like a 2.8, which is a little bit disappointing on my part because I don't know. When I first picked this up, I thought it was going to be like a higher rated story, and I'm talking like 2 years ago at this point. I thought it was going to be like a good book to me, but I just don't feel that way right now. So yeah, red, white, and royal blue. Next, tomorrow's Christmas. I'm going to Canada actually, and I'm going to be bringing Kiki's delivery service and Before the Coffee Gets Cold, I think, to see if I can finish those before New Year's. Okay, I'll update you later. Merry Christmas. Hey, what's up? Sorry, I'm still in my pajamas. Look at these pajamas that I got. I've never been one to wear pajamas, like a full set, but these are really soft. It's like the 28th, I want to say, and I wanted to tell you what I thought about Before the Coffee Gets Cold, because I did finish it in about 2 days. I was like, I don't know, I guess they call it like immersive reading. I was reading it while listening to the audiobook, and I really think that helped me like speed up the process of reading it. I was looking for my next read. I literally cannot find my book. I was gonna read, well, I am reading technically, The Cat Who Stole Books. We'll get to that later, but I finished Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and I think I liked it more than when I DNF'd it. I think I was in a book slump when I DNF'd this book. I don't remember the exact cause of the reason why I stopped reading this, so I picked it back up and I started from the beginning. I did remember a few things, but I wanted to start fresh. I started reading this book last year. My Goodreads says that it was in July. I don't tend to read much over the summer. Maybe that's why, I don't know, like, I don't know what it is. But out of all of the stories, I liked, which one did I like the most? I know which one it is, I just don't know which one it's called. I mean, what it's called. I liked The Husband and the Wife the best out of the 3. And then, I don't know, I feel like all of these were like entertaining while I was reading it, but other than that, they were like really predictable and I saw where they were going. I didn't find myself being attached to any of the characters, even the ones in the shop. There was nothing really like, you know, calling me to them. I wasn't very attached to them, if that makes sense. But The Husband and the Wife one was my favorite story out of the 3. I thought the stories were okay. Again, I feel like if I'm not attached to the characters, that kind of like lessens the impact of your story. But given the constraints of like the short story, I don't know how much detail we could have gone into without it like expanding that much more and creating a longer book, which I'm not opposed to. But given the restraints that this book, like, it's like a small book, so if you want to fit 4 stories in here, I don't know, in order to like get more attached, I need a longer story, I feel like. But I did like The Husband and the Wife story the most. I feel like it had like more of an impact. I don't know if it's like, I don't want to get too much into it, but like the circumstances of everything. That was my favorite story. I mean, the rest of the 3 stories, probably like the sisters would be second. But again, the 3 other stories are pretty okay. That's what I thought of Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I just wasn't attached to it. Like, I got the magic and everything. I don't know, I feel like very odd when I'm not attached to characters. It just like makes me not care that much about the stories while I'm reading them, but to each their own. Overall, I rated this a 3.3 out of 5 stars. I was like in between a 3.2 and a 3.3. I went with a 3.3. This is the first of the series. I think there are 4, there might be more, but for right now, I'm okay with leaving this like as is, like just a standalone. I know there are more stories in the other books, like they're the same kind of like format, like short stories, I think. But if one day I want to continue with it, like I'm not opposed to it, but it's not something that I want to read like right now, or like I don't see myself reading that in the near future. That's what I thought of before the coffee gets cold. This is my second finished DNF book. Yesterday, I kind of started Cat Who Stole Books. That one, I remember getting about 30 pages into it, but the circumstances in which I was reading that book were, I don't know, 2024 was a tumultuous time for me, and that time frame for reading that book and what was happening in my life while I was reading that book, just it didn't line up, so I had to like stop reading that book. But now, I don't know, I want to finish my DNF book, so I'm hopping right back into it. The Cat Who Saved Books, as far as I remember, is about like a boy who lived with his grandfather who owned a bookstore, and he has like a used bookstore, and the grandfather dies and he leaves basically the bookstore to his grandson. So he's in the process, I feel like, of cleaning it out when there's this cat who's in there. The cat talks, and that's where things get blurry, because I know I got to the cat and I got to the first like area of like adventure in the story, but I don't remember what exactly was occurring. So Kiki's Delivery Service and that book are together. It is nowhere to be seen here, so I think it is elsewhere and I'm gonna have to look for it later. But that's what I was listening to yesterday. I didn't really get that far into it. I think maybe I only got like 10 minutes into it. So we're gonna continue that. But that is how we are doing so far. I know I haven't really been good about like updating you on my thoughts as I am reading. I'm gonna try to do that with the Cat Who Saved Books and Kiki's Delivery Service. I am trying to get to my book goal. My book goal has, I feel like, never been met. Either that, I know like 2 years ago I adjusted my book goal, so I could just say that I reached it, but I didn't. My book goal for this year was 25 books, which I have never read more than I think like 12 books in a year. Listen, I want to say I'm a busy gal, but you know, I don't know. I don't read books all day. Even like 25, originally I thought I was gonna do like 20 books, but I kind of wanted to like reach higher, so that's what I put 25 books down. Right now I really want to finish that goal. Like I just want to say that I reached my goal for the year. So right now I think we're at 22. So with the Cat Who Saved Books and Kiki's Delivery Service we'd be at 24, which means that one book would be missing, and I don't know which book I should be reading next, because I need something like on the shorter side to reach my goal. Yeah, and it's the 29th. Wait. It's the 29th of December. We only have today, the 30th, and the 31st to reach our goal. And I think I can do it, especially with Kiki's Delivery Service, because it's like a shorter book, very easy to read, and I'm already into the story. Like it's a very quick, fast read, but like I have to read 3 books in like 3 days. Basically. Oh, wait. I'm gonna be so mad if I get 24 out of 25. Like, that's gonna make me mad. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can do this. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Hey, what's up? It's the same day. It's just like 12:30. I realized today that I only have 1 more hour, apparently, of audiobooks on Spotify. And that's an issue, considering what we're trying to do. I just started reading again. I am not kidding you when I tell you this. I cannot find my books. I cannot find the Cat Who Saved Books, and I can't find Kiki's Delivery Service. I don't know where they are. I think they might be in the car, maybe in the glove compartment, because the last place I remember having them was in the city when I went, like 2 weeks ago. So I think maybe they're there. I really don't know where else it could be, but I can't find it, and that is starting to become a serious issue. So as I couldn't find my books today when I was looking for them, I've kind of accepted the fact that maybe we won't be able to finish 3 books in like 3 days. It is a very immense task for me to finish 3 books in 3 days? It's officially the 30th, so it's only today and tomorrow, and that is a huge issue, actually. Either way, this video goes on if I don't reach it by the end of the year, because I do want to finish my DNF books. Like, that's regardless. I just wanted to do this before the year ended, so that's what we're dealing with right now. But I'm still listening to it for as long as Spotify lets me, and then I'm gonna see what happens. So yeah, I'll see you later. No, no, this has never happened before. Oh my god. Okay. Hey, what's up? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? I know we had a timeline, I know we wanted to stick to it, but it is the 10th of January, the 10th. I finished The Cat Who Saved Books a few days ago, so it's my first read of 2026. I was gonna say 2023. I'm just like way off. But I wanted to kind of give you like a wrap up on it. My next read is gonna be Kiki's Delivery Service. Honestly, with these DNF books, I'm kind of getting, I'm like not, like it's not a, I'm filming this video as like, you know, reading books I've DNF'd, but honestly right now I just don't want to keep reading these. Like, I find that there's a reason why I DNF'd them, and it's still too soon to get back to it. Okay, The Cat Who Saved Books. Did I already explain this? Honestly, I don't even remember. It's been a long time. But The Cat Who Saved Books is about a boy whose grandfather has died, who owns a bookshop. Basically, this boy's aunt is coming to, like, you know, pick him up, sell the bookstore, all this stuff. So that's just kind of like the plot points. And then one day when he's in the bookshop, you know, cleaning up, selling books, doing what bookstores do, this cat comes in and he can talk, so he's like a magical cat, and he's like, I need your help, like books need saving and you're gonna help me, basically. So he embarks on, like, they call them labyrinths, so he embarks on like 4, I believe, labyrinths, and he's just on a mission to help this cat save books, and the books are in different kind of circumstances. That's just the overall plot. Okay, I just going off the fact that I read this, I think this is a YA book, and maybe that's something I should have been aware of before I went into it, but okay, listen. I read this book and I just found it, like, the message to be repetitive, and to, like, not only is it in your face, the message, but it's also hitting you over the head with it. Like, get this in your head, like, you're not seeing what this message is. Like, yeah, I see it, and you're repeating it over and over again, and I don't need that. The books find themselves in different kind of circumstances, which honestly is like real life circumstances for books, I feel like. I don't want to get into spoilers, so that's all I'm gonna say. I feel like I liked it at first, like when we went to the first labyrinth, but it was like way too repetitive for my liking. I saw where it was going. Usually when I predict when I read other books, I was like, but that's not the only thing that can happen. Like, it could go this way, or this way. This one was like, I already knew where it was going, and I had no doubt that it was going that way, and it did. You know what I mean? There's no element of surprise, even when I'm right when I'm reading other books. I'm still excited to see how it unfolds, but there was just no tension for this book. I gave this one a 3.2 out of 5 stars. I still like Before the Coffee Gets Cold before this book. I rated it higher. It's not the worst book I've ever read, by all means. Our next book, I promise this time, is gonna be Kiki's Delivery Service. I think Kiki's Delivery Service might be our last book of the video, and then we'll see what happens. I'll see you later. Guys, oh my god, I feel like it's been so long since I last talked to you, but probably because it has been. It is January 29th at 11:44 p.m. so basically January 30th, and wait, I have not read a single thing. Actually, I read a few pages last week. I am still reading Kiki's Delivery Service, and you know what? Today is January 29th, and you know what? I've only finished 1 book this month, being, what, the last book that I finished, The Cat Who Saved Books. And I am maybe now realizing, I don't know, maybe just don't read your DNF books back to back. I feel like, I don't know, that's just kind of the situation I'm in. I have not been motivated to read. I tried to read a little bit. I wasn't into it. I don't know what's happening, and I feel like that is really going to impact my rating on this. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I have not been excited to read, I want to say, like, since I finished Dark Matter back in November. That was the last time I was so into a book. As time has gone on without me reading, I've been like, I want to read something like good. Not that this isn't good, but like something that I'm like into, like I'm entertained by, and I'm like wanting to go back and keep reading every so often. But I feel like this long stretch since probably mid-November has been like this, with me like not really wanting to read but like doing it anyway, you know what I mean? But that's what's going on. I am going to read a little bit. This is how far we're halfway in. And you know what the worst part is? That this is legitimately a very easy read. Like, seriously. Yeah, that's where I am. Anyway, I'm gonna read, actually. I'm determined to finish this before the 31st. And then I feel like I was gonna keep reading my DNF books, but I can't do it. Like, I physically cannot do it. Like, I can't do this anymore. This is our last book. How many books did we read? 3, maybe 4, including like Remarkably Bright Creatures. I actually like redid my shelves the other day, and I found another DNF book that I completely forgot about. I think it's called Look Out for the Little Guy by Scott Lang, the Marvel book. If you're wondering, I got that literally when it released. I was so excited about that book because that book is tied to Ant-Man Quantumania, and basically Scott Lang, or Paul Rudd, whatever you want to, you know, his character wrote an autobiography, and I started reading it, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it's basically telling you everything that happened, I want to say, like since Infinity War, Avengers Infinity War, and frankly I do not need that. I've watched that movie probably a million times. It is my favorite Marvel movie, and the play-by-play, I don't know, I just didn't like I don't need to get into this, I feel like, but when I was reading it, it felt like someone trying to imitate Scott Lang's character. I don't know, it just felt like a repetition of everything I already know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna, you know what, today's the day I'm gonna read this, and I'll let you know how far I get into it. Hopefully it's pretty far in. I don't know. Bye!
3 days later.
Hey, what's up? I finished Kiki's delivery service like 2-3 days ago. I finished it on the 31st, actually. We're in February now, so I think it's been like a day or 2 since I finished it. Overall, you know, it's kind of like a kid's book, and for that, I don't know if it's because I wasn't like really into the story, maybe because I didn't start it from the beginning. I keep saying that in this video, I feel like, but I thought it was cute. But again, I think it's like, I don't even think it's YA. I think it's like like a children's book. I'm gonna give it like 3 stars. I want to watch the movie. Originally, I think that's why I got the book in the first place, was because I wanted to watch the movie. I wanted to get more into like Studio Ghibli. But yeah, it was cute. I enjoyed it, I would say. It was alright. Hey, so thanks for watching this video. It was a trip, I want to say. An emotional roller coaster. I don't know, there was a lot of like periods where I didn't read, but still, at least we finished a good amount of the books I DNF'd, so that's good. Yeah, we still have, I think, like maybe 1 or 2 that I haven't gotten to, but it's fine, honestly. It's okay for now. I don't know when I'm gonna be making another one of these videos, but probably not soon, because I need to get over this kind of non-reading mindset, because I haven't read, like, I haven't felt the want to read in a little while, so I need to get that back. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like, subscribe maybe, and if you want to keep up with me anywhere else, all my socials are linked down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.